You're now tuned into the most unpredictable podcast on the World Wide Web.
It's about to shut it.
Hosted by Karen.
Hey!
You are locked in. You know what it is. Pour up a glass of wine, ladies. Let the Henny flow, fellas. And get ready to turn the fuckery up to lit status. It's Karen Hill live on Say It Loud Radio on your favorite internet platform, streaming live.
It is another episode of Say It Loud. Happy Friday, y'all. It's my favorite day of the week. And you can't, as funny as I am, there's comedians that I follow and I enjoy. And I was like, why not bring the fuckery to Say It Loud podcast? So today in the hot seat is Drew. Am I saying it right? Is it just regular Fraser?
Yes, it is.
I should know this.
Absolutely
You know how
right.
many times I've seen you on stage?
Right. Drew
Fraser is on Say It Loud podcast. And I'm planning to talk to my chiefs not to drink. So, hi Drew, how you doing?
I'm doing fantastic. Thank you so very much for having me. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, of course. So I've seen you in I think the most time I've seen you a couple times, but my most memorable one was in at Caroline's on Broadway.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, definitely.
One of my favorite venues.
Yeah, I mean, look, Caroline's is like Caroline's,
Yeah.
And then Lividity here, because I'm a Rocklander, so Lividity here in Rockland County, New York.
All right.
Yeah, I live in the woods.
You're saying it the West Indian way.
Yes,
Wait,
because
what's your background?
My parents are Jamaican.
Yes, it's levity.
Is it levity?
It's
you know
levity.
how long I've known it's levity? I don't like it like that.
Lividity. Yeah, that's the
Lividity.
West Indian pronunciation. That's correct.
Yeah, it's a tomato, not a tomato.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, it is a West Indian thing. I'm gonna blame my mom about that. I'm also gonna blame her because she named me Karen, and right now I feel like we need to have a stern talk about that.
Yeah, Karen's getting a bad rap right now.
All right, so Drew, I really wanted to talk to you about comedy right now because I really feel like people are too motherfucking sensitive. And you can't tell jokes. Even me with my own podcast, I'm scared to say things because I don't know what the repercussions of it is going to be.
Right.
So how do you deal with that in today's can you still say funny and not offend anyone?
You just have to walk a slippery slope, slippery slide, slippery line. It's really not what you say, but it's how you say it. It all depends on how you say it. And it's a good point because just last night we were filming a show for Netflix last night in New York City, and the comedian started to do a joke about going on a date with a handicapped person. The person was wheelchair bound. And the air in the room just went out. I mean, people literally
right.
They just went back in their seat and they did not take the ride with her. I mean, it was just a really, really, really tense atmosphere because she was talking about a wheelchair person and dating that person. So it's not what you say, it's just how you say it.
Yeah, but I feel like even for me, and I say things all the time, y'all, my Instagram is crazy, and I see things that are funny, and I'm like, oh my God, half of the things that are funny to me are because of the truth, right?
Right.
And so when I have to be in a space where I can't just be honest about the truth or poke holes at it and have fun with it, it kind of takes away the part where you're fun, because everything is not funny, but everything sometimes is funny. And so where is that line where we can be okay with it? Because now it feels like everybody has a problem with everything.
What everybody has a problem with everything because everything right now is a problem. So that's why everybody has a problem with everything, because everything is a problem. It used to be where you can do racial humor and people will laugh at it, but if you do it now, you're considered either a racist or an insensitive person. So you just have to really walk that line of how you want to address the topic that you're trying to address.
Wow. Does that make it harder for you when you're writing jokes, or you're just like, nope, we'll walk the line, and it doesn't make it any harder? Have you had to like pull things out?
Most definitely, because it was just too much of a touchy subject, and it was you just didn't want to go there. You just didn't want to go there.
Yeah, but I feel like that takes away from the art and the craft. For me, it's just like, sometimes I'm just like, well, I can't say it. I'm just not going to say it. But the reality is I want to say it.
Yeah, you want to say it. So then the art of it will be to find a way to say it that will not be offensive. That's the art of it.
Yeah.
And then people will be like, oh my God, he's a genius. I mean, one time I did a joke about JFK dying and crashing into the water. And the joke was that he crashed into the water, and they went down. They spent like $50 million to recover the body,
right,
of JFK Jr., his wife, and his sister-in-law. And then they turned around and they buried him at sea.
It is funny.
So that was the joke. And then the people in the room were laughing. And I remember when I went outside, I said it at Caroline's, and this white gentleman came up to me and he said, you took a chance and you won.
Yeah.
And he said, you won, because that was funny. So you just have to find a way to say it and then deliver it. Yeah.
Do you think that comedians should be like chastised when they do make jokes about things that maybe aren't received well by everyone?
Yes.
You do?
Almost definitely do.
I don't know. I feel like some people are gonna get offended, but that's part of like. I mean, some people are offended by certain things in movies, and some people are offended by certain things in music.
Being chastised for it doesn't mean that you were wrong. It doesn't mean you were right. It just means that probably the way you said it was wrong. Right. You know?
Right. Yeah. And we could have been more sensitive, I suppose, in how we said it. That question came to me because I seen people say things like 5-6 years ago. I was thinking about like Kevin Hart saying something how many years ago, and then losing a current gig or a current job because of it. You know, and I thought about that, and I was like, well, we all say things, you know, and
but then you have to, if you know the context of what he said said it wrong.
Right.
And the actual joke was, he said if his son turned out to be gay, he's gonna beat the gay out of him.
Right.
Okay, that's
which a lot of people tend to think. You know, I get it.
Yeah, in this day and climate of inclusion, that was not the thing to say that way. And that's the flack he got from that.
Right.
He said that way too. Tracy Morgan said it that way also, and he got the same thing.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people might have until, you know, these last couple of years feel that way. You know, is now that we're talking about equality and gender and people being able to see children kind of make the decision that they want to make earlier in life. And kind of identify who they are at an earlier age, we kind of got to be more open to that and more sensitive to that.
Right.
And so I totally get it. Yeah. I totally get it when it comes to that. And I think sometimes people also put themselves in very vulnerable situations talking about their own personal feelings.
Mm-hmm. There you have it.
You know, because that now it's very, very personal. It's very, very targeted, especially things like, you know, your political views and your religious views. I tell people all the time, I don't discuss politics and I don't discuss religion.
Exactamundo. If I'm at the comedy club or I'm performing somewhere, those are the topics that I stay away from, because it divides the room. You alienate yourself from others that are in the room, et cetera, et cetera. So you want to stay away from, or you don't want to identify a particular party.
Right.
You can do political jokes,
Right. You just gotta stay neutral.
Exactly. Stay neutral.
You gotta stay neutral. I feel like that's the quickest way for me to lose friends and make enemies. So I tend to.
That's how you walk that line.
I'm like, you know what? We'll stay somewhere in between, or we'll shut the fuck up.
Exactly. And then everybody can laugh in the room and feel comfortable. But if you're putting down one and putting up, and you're building up the other, now you divide the room.
Yeah, I don't want to be in that situation. I don't even want to be in that situation at drinks with my friends, let alone be at that situation with anybody else. Right. So there's been a lot of talk about like social media and these comedians coming out of nowhere. Like everybody's a comedian now because they have TikTok and they have YouTube and they have Reels. How do you think that's impacting the comedy game?
It's impacted it in a positive way because it creates a revenue stream for entertainers, personalities, and that revenue stream that they create for themselves can go forth for their children, moving them out of situations that they are in, putting them in better situations, and it just helps the economy. So I'm all for it. All for it.
And how do you think the COVID has affected, and like people being locked down over the last year? How do you think that's affected comedy and the growth of like people on social media in that work?
Tremendously. I mean, from everything that is negative, something positive comes from something. And so with the fact that people have been on this lockdown situation, especially entertainers, the creativity has increased.
Yeah, now, I definitely agree.
The revenue may have been lost for 2 years. Right. Because we were locked down. But the creativity has increased. And once the world opens up, that revenue stream now for entertainers, comedians, actors, singers, et cetera, is going to quadruple. And for some, it already has.
I definitely think that people have taken what we had for the last year that we were locked down and we're like, all right, what am I going to do with this? And we only had social media. We only had, YouTube and TikTok and all of those things to be able to communicate, to tell stories, to start music, to writing. I think it gave people, people even that weren't thinking about doing something like that now we're like, you know what, now's the time. I have an outlet, I have a space, I'm home. What can I do? And definitely used it to their advantage to create something, bigger. I just hope that people can make revenue from it and can be like,
they have. The amount of people that have made so much money off of social media during this pandemic is astronomical.
Yeah. I know last year this time every day I was like, I go on Instagram and everybody, like before COVID, I would go live, once or twice a week and do my thing and talk my shit. And then when COVID hit, I was like, oh my God, everybody's on here. I'm not doing it anymore. Because it was just everybody from like 7 o'clock to 11 o'clock at night was just like online TV,
They're online doing something. And then here comes the advertisers. And here comes the revenue stream because the advertisers go there. Yeah. And those people went from there straight to the computer, started ordering everything. So it was a ripple effect, and a lot of people did absolutely fantastic.
No, it's been really good. I'm not gonna lie, COVID's been good to me. I mean, I feel like it was bad because people got sick, but as far as being able to be a creative, I got a lot of time to grow what I'm doing. So I'm not mad about it in the least. So look, Drew, this show's full of fuckery and stuff like that. What are your thoughts on I don't know if I love it or I'm embarrassed, but either way, so there's this whole, you saw Monique, right? And this whole big thing with women wearing the bonnets outside. Right. Can we talk about this?
Most definitely so.
I want to hear your thoughts before I put my 2 cents in.
Most definitely so. I'm going to say the bonnet thing. Now, the women were wearing the bonnets because they had their hair in rollers, or they had their hair.
They had their weave like pinned up. Yeah, pinned up under the bonnet.
Pinned up.
I would assume.
Okay, all right,
Yeah.
okay. I don't have a problem with that. I can see where Monique might say, or I do know where she was coming from, because she said she was seeing an overabundance of these individuals. And then I think what she touched on was pajamas, people showing up at the airport with blankets. I mean, if you know your plane's gonna be delayed 18 hours, hey, show up in your pajamas. Because you know you're gonna be at the airport for 18 hours.
But
I ain't going nowhere. I'm going
right,
back.
right.
But if that's your travel attire, you might want to rethink that a tad bit. You're showing up with blankets. I don't understand the blanket. That I don't understand. Unless someone told you, listen, the plane is absolutely freezing cold. Please bring something warm to lay yourself up, because we can't turn the air conditioner off. So I do understand that.
Right.
And I don't even know if they give you blankets anymore on the plane because of COVID.
I was on a plane last week, and they said if I wanted one, I had to buy one.
You had to buy.
So yeah, you can buy it.
Well, there you have it. If you gotta buy a blanket, you might as well bring your own.
Blanket.
You might as well.
You have to buy a blanket if you want.
Yeah, you might as well just bring your own. So it's a slippery slope. It's 50-50. I'm 50-50 on that one right there.
I don't know, Drew. I'm like a New Yorker.
I went on that online and said it. I might have said it at the comedy club. That's a different ballgame. I don't know if I would have went online and said it. That's my thing. Like I said, you gotta walk that slope. You gotta walk the slope fine.
Nah, I'll say it, Drew. I'll say it. I think going outside with a bonnet on is so the ghetto. That's what I think. I feel like you don't go outside in your pajamas. Your grandma don't go outside in her house coat. You don't wear your bed slippers farther than the mailbox. Why are you outside in your bonnet? Now, I'm not saying you shouldn't have a bonnet. Right. I've had a weave-in before. I've had a bonnet. You know, I wear the bonnet in the house when it's time to go to bed. I understand that.
Right.
But I think that what people treat you based on what they see, whether it's right or wrong.
Correct.
And if you outside looking like a bum and not pulled together, then somebody is going to treat you as such. It doesn't make it right, but that's the reality we live in. That's what I tell people. If you see a guy outside and he got black boots on and a black mask on his face and a black outfit and he look like a ninja at night, you going to be like, what's he up to? Well, if I see you with a bonnet at 2:00 in the afternoon and your house slippers on outside, I'm gonna be like, what's up?
Right.
So I personally don't wear a bonnet outside. I bought 2 Yankee fitteds. When I go to get my hair done and it's wrapped in a doobie, I put a fitted on, and that's just that. If you gotta come outside, that's just that. I think that as women, I understand, like, we're empowerment. We should be able to wear what we want. We're all still beautiful. Yes, you are, sis. Yes. But there's a way to carry yourself in certain situations, and most of those situations, unless you run into the corner store, you could take the bonnet off your head. You could do that for yourself. The rest of us don't want to see it.
Right. Well, I think where Monique was at, she was like, there was just a tad bit too many. 1, okay, 2, 3, but when you see 30 and 40, and she's like, whoa, hold on, what's going on? And then they're all of color. Then she felt like
it doesn't make us look. It doesn't make us look good. It makes us look like okay. I'm in the school to talk about your with your bonnet still on. You know what I mean? Like, there's we all gonna, when you leave, we're all gonna be looking at each other like, this 2:30 in the afternoon.
Right. Well, that's where it was. Yeah. I mean, I'm
feel like, do better. That's it. I don't think
at the airport in my pajamas. I mean, if you're going to transatlantic flight, okay, the kids show up in their pajamas, because they're going to go to bed, and maybe an 8-10 hour flight. You're going to wear something really, really comfortable.
But
showing up in the PJs, That might be a little bit much.
No, I mean, I was traveling last week. I put on some leggings and a hoodie. That's what I put on. Right. If the airplane's cold, I got a hoodie on. I had some leggings. It's comfortable.
Just travel attire.
Put on your tracksuit. Yeah, put on your tracksuit and your Crocs. You're comfortable. You know, I did have a blanket in my bag. Because we had a night flight. But I think people got to be conscious of how we carry ourselves, especially in this day and age when we got so many issues, especially for people of color. Like, you don't want to, you know, and like I said, it doesn't make it right, but we're going to see what they see. They're going to take it the way they see it.
Right.
And, you know, situations if you don't have to be in those situations.
Right. Very much so.
Yeah, and that's what people do. They take up those stereotypes and they run with them.
Yeah.
You know? So I don't know. That's my opinion. Should women shoot their shot? Drew?
Oh, all day, every day. All day.
Is it too much? Is it ever too much?
Never. It's never
too much. So what do you think about the women proposing?
Yeah, why not?
I don't know.
Why not?
I don't know.
I think.
So you think it's okay? Women should be proposing.
Yeah. I think anybody who proposes to anybody should already know the answer.
That is true. You should already talk about it.
The discussion of that should have already came up. You know, two or three times. Anybody should be checking with their significant other at least 2 or 3. Okay, if I ask you to marry me, what would you say? Do you want to marry me? Are you sure? Are you ready? If I asked you next week, what would you say? Boom, you go for it. You got.
Okay, that's fair.
If you got positive responses to all of those questions, boom, you go.
Okay.
Nobody should be surprised at a proposal.
Right.
I mean,
that's
surprised
fair.
with the answer. So you should be surprised with the act, but not the answer. The answer should really just be confirmation. You already know the answer. Yeah.
Right. That's fair. That is very fair. I feel like a lot of people put it on like, oh, I was surprised. But you really shouldn't be that surprised. You should know you're getting married. You should know an engagement is coming. When, I don't know.
You want the act to be a surprise.
Right.
But the answer for whoever's asking should not be a surprise. It should be a confirmation.
Right.
You should.
Of a conversation we had a couple of times.
Yeah, we had this. If you get a negative response, you'd be like, "Hold up, bitch! I asked you 15 times already."
Right. You picked this ring.
Yeah. What's going on?
I definitely agree with that. Now, I was on Instagram and there was like this whole big thing about women proposing to men, and should women propose to a man? And while I'm all for women empowerment, I will not be proposing to a man.
Of course not. No, of course not.
I'm very old school in that. Yeah. Huh? I mean, I will pick the ring. I will post a picture on the refrigerator. I will text you my top 5, but I'm not asking you.
Right, exactly. I mean, you should let that up to the man. But like I said before, that conversation has already taken place. So,
yeah. There was this woman on Instagram. She was pregnant, and they had a video of her like down on her knee proposing to her boyfriend, her baby daddy, whatever the case may be. And everybody was like, "Get up, sis!" And I felt like I kind of agreed. I was just like, "Sis, he know you pregnant. He know what you doing down there."
That there was probably for their channel.
Yeah.
That was all staged for them. So you get 900 gazillion views.
Yeah. That was situational.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get it. I was just like, so I didn't know if it was a thing. So you think, Drew, women should shoot their shot?
Oh, all day, every day.
Okay, so can you give us some tips on how women can shoot their shot? Because I think the way women think of it and the way men think of it are not the same thing.
Well, I mean,
so like, a woman shooting her shot is like, I asked him if he wanted Dunkin' Donuts this morning. Like, you know, they're not very as direct.
Well,
So
you know
I
what?
think women
I
need
think women
guidance.
aren't as direct because they don't want to come across it as, okay, let's go fuck.
But some women really do want that. So I feel
Okay,
like
well,
if
good.
you want
Then
that,
that's fine.
sis,
Then
just
then-
own
then-
that shit.
Then just tell them. Just tell them. Listen,
Yeah,
I find you
just
very
own that
attractive. Are you doing anything next week? Let's hook up and have some sex, drinks, whatever, and then boom. Just say it.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
Now, in my dating pool, 50% of the people that I ended up dating, it was a chance encounter. Either I'm walking into a venue and they're walking out, or I'm walking in and they're walking out. We just pass, and then something is said, and then boom, we're off to the races.
Wow.
So
was
if
it you doing this thing or they doing this thing?
Well, it's me. It's a glance. I mean, women are going to give a man a glance. A man is going to read that glance, and then boom.
Right.
That's how it starts. Yeah. She's
I
exiting.
have mixed feelings on the women glance thing. I think women do that, but I also feel like, and then they'll be like, I go out and nobody talks to me. And I'm like, well, you can't just give everybody googly eyes. Like at some point you got to say something because.
Well, here's what women got to understand. If you're in the club and you're glancing and nobody's coming over to you, they don't want to talk to you.
You need to tell that. Say it louder, Drew. Say it louder.
If you're
a lot of
female,
women.
And you're in the club making eye contact with men and they don't come over to you, they are not interested in you.
He's just not into
Because
you.
I know a lot of women, when they go out in the club, they don't look at no men because they know every single one of them is coming over. So they try not to make eye contact.
Right, so they're on their phone the whole time. They're with their girlfriends.
The last thing they want to do is make eye contact with a guy, and then they're like, "Oh shit, he's coming over here."
I mean,
so
that
if
has
you're
happened.
making eye contact with a dude and he ain't coming over, he ain't interested.
All right, so ladies, that's a pointer. If you're making eye contact and he's not coming over, he's not interested in you. And ladies, let me tell you something else. I know you look really good in that club, and your shoes are really cute, and you got that whole faja thing on, and it's stressing you out. But you need to also understand, because I think some women be like, well, why is he not coming over to me? And they think that, and this is why that Samuel guy, this is why he's so popular, because he tells people shit that they don't really want to hear, but they do really want to hear.
Of course.
But so a woman will be like, I don't understand why anybody's not coming over, not knowing that like you're not giving out an energy for someone to come over, or your confidence isn't coming out in you, your personality. Like they just assume like everybody's supposed to like me.
well, here's what you gotta understand. You gotta know your lane. Do you think let me say somebody.
Nah, I'll tell you right now, Drew. A lot of women don't know their lane. That's why that man is so popular.
You gotta know your lane. You gotta know your lane. I mean, you think J-Lo has a problem with men not coming over to her?
No, but I think there's a lot of women who are actually like a solid 5, thinking like, I don't understand, and it's like, I don't want to, you know what I mean? Like, maybe where you fishing, your fish is not there. Like, you know what I mean? You fishing for champagne, and you gotta kind of like.
There you go. If you just know your lane, then you're all good. Every chick can't get Idris Elba. Yeah.
Right.
A lot of women, I want an Idris Elba type. No, you can't get Idris Elba.
Right.
You can't get an Idris Elba type.
Yeah.
You gotta go for Elba.
There's a lot of women listening to this and they're mad right now. But it's so true. There's a lot of women that I know that I've been out with them and I hang out with them, and the guys that they're talking about are like straight like chisel body, 6'5" models, in the gym working out. They got money. And then like sis is like, and I'm just like, it's like dude is like a 10. No, for real. Like I'd be scared to talk to this. Dude is a 10. And then sis is like a solid like 6. You know what I mean? She's nice, but I don't think she understands like that's not in your lane. It's just like, right. I tell people this. It's just like shopping for a car. And we're not going to use me because I have a nice car. But it's like shopping for a car. You don't go to certain dealerships if you know you can't buy that car.
Exactly.
And it don't mean that your car's not a nice car. It don't mean that your car's not a new car. But certain people don't go to certain dealerships because they know off the bat, this is not me.
Right. I can't go. I can't go to Mercedes-Benz dealer with Kia.
You see,
Kia money.
Right. I'm not saying your car not nice. I'm just saying.
Got a nice
but when
Kia.
you shopping, you know what you shopping for when you shopping.
Exactly.
Very rarely does somebody go to the Benz dealer if they can't buy a Benz.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
You understand? Yes. By the way, I do have a Benz. But anyway, but you gotta understand, like that might be your lane, and you might be good in your lane. But I think a lot of women don't understand that, and they end up trying to shoot their shot with people, or hold out for people, or hold themselves. And this is why that guy is so. I feel like he's arrogant, but he also does have a point in that, like, you might be fishing in a pond that ain't for you.
Right, exactly. That's all it is.
You know, or putting your value where, thinking your value is more than it possibly is. And it's not saying you're not valuable. It's just saying you're valuable in your pool.
Yeah. But say
which is kind of messed up.
Women have passed over great men. I mean, what's a great man? It's a great man.
I mean, I feel like for me, the whole situation, I don't date. I probably should, because I've been divorced 1 minute now. I don't date because I feel like the whole pool is just like somebody peed in it. But I just feel like that value part that we talk about, that they're constantly talking about, like high value, I think people got their values all wrong. And I think until you get to a place in your life where you understand the true value of a person, you're going to be looking at all the wrong things. Right. And so there's women out here. I've heard women say, well, he got to drive this kind of car. He got to make $100,000 a year. He can't have any children. He can't, and they have this long laundry list of what they need out of a person, and never everything on there is tangible. It's never like honest, respectful, get along with my parents, embrace my children. Like, it's never those things. And honestly, so when people ask me like, hey, what are you looking for? I'm like, yo, my list is not like anybody else's, because you guys are valuing somebody else's accomplishments and not really valuing who they are as a person. And there's a lot of people out here with a lot of nice shit, and they're assholes.
Yeah, definitely so. I think it also comes with age too. I mean, when you're in your 20s, you want nice, shiny things,
right?
And when you get into your 30s and 40s, you're looking for now stability,
right?
You're looking for intellect, someone I can have a nice conversation with. Does this person have a steady income? That's what you're more looking for. That stuff, and the thing with women, that women pass up men who blue collar workers, driving train, bus drivers. Those are great catches.
Right. And real people.
Catches.
And real people.
Civil service job. Great pension. Police officers, firefighters. Great catches. Yeah. Yes, do you think that social media and like TV shows have kind of skewed people's thinking into what like regular life is like? Are we chasing that the stuff we see on TV? Once again, I think it becomes an age thing. Right. I mean, when you're in your teens and your 20s, you might be influenced by those type of things. But once you start getting on your own, you got your own apartment, you got your own place, you're making your own money, paying your own bills. Those things aren't going to influence you. They're just not. I mean, I was never one for labels, so I was never out there Gucci down and Louis this and all that type of stuff. I would have on literally $30 worth of clothes, and I'm the best dressed person in the club.
Right.
My clothes cost $30. My whole outfit. I'm the best dressed person, and I look better than everybody in the club.
Yeah.
I remember one time I had on a $45 suit. $45.
They make $45. Where you got that at?
Can't tell you. And somebody came up to me and he said, "Listen, man, how much did you pay for that suit? I know it's about $1,500, the way it was tailored and fit you like that." And I was like, "Yep, yes, it was." And the suit cost $45.
Yeah.
So it's not. It's not what you have on; it's how you wear it.
Right.
It's how you wear it.
I tell people all the time, it's the confidence that you have. And a beautiful woman or a beautiful person, they're gonna be beautiful regardless. It don't matter if the t-shirt is $3 or
so all that. So once you get past a certain age, all that stuff on television, I don't think it's gonna influence anybody.
Yeah. I don't like it actually. Some of it I don't like. I'm like, there's gotta be a better way. Yeah, I feel like some of the shows on TV, I'm like, there's got to be a better way to represent us. Mm-hmm. That's my honest opinion. There's got to be a better way. Right. Because I don't know. I don't know. Like, I want everybody to make their money, and I don't hate on that. But I definitely think, as far as representation, we need to think of ways to represent ourselves in ways that enlighten our children and enlighten our people, and entertain them. In a way that, where they can look up to people and kind of aspire in different ways, because I do think some of the nonsense and the fuckery is it's too much nonsense, and it's too much fuckery. People are watching, kids are watching, and what example are we setting for them? Like, it's too much fuckery. Like, y'all just get around every week and y'all on a reality show and y'all just fight every week. Like, at a certain age, that's not cute no more. Like, y'all all grown women.
Yeah. I agree with that totally. Yeah, I don't watch any of those reality shows. Come on now. To be honest.
Yeah, like I would love to make one because they money. I get that behind it, but like the people that are like, I'm gonna do this, like, do it, make your money and move on. But to constantly, like, this is what we're perpetuating, there's got to be some offset to it. There's got to be some balance to it, in my opinion, because it's just like, we can't be aspire. Yeah, this can't be all we got. This can't be all we got. Right. We got to do better. So tell me about your podcast.
Two Drinks Left. I tape it every Tuesday, and it's all about entertainment, sex, relationships, travel. I normally have some really, high-end celebrities on every now and then sometimes I'll just have regular people, and we'll just sit there and we'll just talk and chat, and laugh and giggle, and we'll get crazy. It can get crazy.
I like
That's why it's called crazy. That's why it's called Two Drinks Left, because sometimes it goes to the left.
When did you start it?
I started like a month ago.
Yeah.
Like a month ago, yeah. Yeah.
And how has it been, you think?
Taping has been absolutely fantastic.
Isn't it fun?
Like I said, once we go live stream, which I will discuss everything with you off the camera, because I love the way you're running yours. It's absolutely fantastic. I was like, oh, this girl got her business down packed. This is how I want. I called my producers the other day. I said, this girl sent me a calendar to pick the days. I was like, what the hell?
Y'all slacking.
Amazing when I tell you that. I said, I told my team, get on this right away. I want this.
I'm for hire. You haven't been to my website.
Okay, well, listen, I'm going to have my team call you, and
I'm gonna have my people call your people. I love this. I love podcasting, and I love running the podcast and all the details that go with it. And I think that's, for me, setting you that's part of my branding. You'll get your thank you note tomorrow that comes out too, and all that kind of stuff. So I take it very
exactly what I wanted to get also too. And then I got the t-shirts that I just have printed up. So it's a good time. But I'm excited for you, because I think you get to work with so many people, and you get to bring them in and share that. So I think that's going to be dope. And you have a visual. Right.
So you're special. I didn't have a visual at first.
Oh, you didn't?
I didn't. And then everybody, Karen, that's the way to go. And I was like, most of the people I talk to are all men, and I'm like, but it's easy for y'all. Y'all just get a haircut, put a hat on and a t-shirt. And I was like, I got to put on makeup and do hair and put myself together. And I was like, y'all doing too much. Like, and then I was like,
when you start interviewing the females, that's what they want. They're like, oh, hold on, I'm gonna be right back. I'm getting dolled up, and you throw this on YouTube.
Yeah.
And boom, it's gonna be crazy. Oh yeah, definitely so.
One of those girls that don't do that. I don't do wigs. I hardly wear makeup. Like I get dolled up if I have to get dolled up, but day to day, like I'm not in the Bronx Zoo and heels on. Like I don't do shit like that. You know what I mean? I'm more like
that look right there. That look right there is all you need, girl.
This is my gym. This is my gym clothes and a ponytail. So,
that's
but I think
all
that's
you need. That's
that
all you
I was
need.
really uncomfortable about it, and then I was like, but this is what makes Karen L that I'm not doing what everybody else does, that I'm not one of those dolled up. I love the dolled up women. I think that's dope. I just can't commit to that. I have commitment issues.
That's right. That's for your guests. That ain't got to be for you. That's for your guests.
Yeah. So, you know, you get it. When I say it's real, it's really real. It's really like you get it. It's really real. But yeah, but I definitely enjoy it. But thank you, Drew, for stopping by and hanging out with me and telling jokes.
Fantastic. I really appreciate you.
And the fuckery. Will you come back and like hang out with us?
I will
again
most
sometime?
certainly can. You're going to be getting my invitation for you to come on my show. And we're gonna get crazy. We're gonna get crazy.
I'm gonna drink when I come on your show, though. I'm gonna take my 2 drinks.
It's called 2 drinks left, baby.
I know. I'm gonna have my drink ready. I'm telling you right now. I'm gonna have my Hennessy ready, and I'm drinking straight.
Yes, and we're gonna get it in. We're gonna get it. We're gonna go to the left with some crazy topics and stuff.
I love it. I love it. Well, thank you so much for stopping by. I can't wait to have you on again. I'll let everybody know when your podcast is dropping. We'll put a link on my website. We'll be right back. Say it loud.
Thank you so much. Appreciate you.
This is for all the ladies.
Ladies, pack your whole bag.
Who you calling a hoe?
Pour up a drink and start.
That's a little kinky.
Karen L is now live on Say It Loud Radio, streaming 24/7 across all platforms.
24/7.
Live on SayItLoud.com. Lock it in.
Y'all keep it locked right here.